show you a lot of axles here to choose from. I was thinking this one here would be the prime candidate to use, because I think it's a drum brake axle anyway. Yipper, it's a drum brake axle. So this is the correct axle. For a drum brake, which we don't have. We have a narrow glide hub though. Maybe it'll work. Find out. Nice manufacturing. It's always nice when all the parts match up perfectly. Okay, so sleeve is in, it's flush, which is good. And nut, it's over here in. Oh, that's what the problem is. This side's not in all the way. Because we have no threads over here. So why is that not going in all the way? It doesn't want to go in all the way, that's why. No, it does not. Ah, it's because the rocker's not even. It's sitting on the bottom of the rocker. The rocker is at an angle like this. What a shocker. Either way, this nut is way longer than it should be, which tells me that the front fork is way wider than it should be, which is not uncommon on aftermarket parts. So if you measure the width between here and here on a stock fork, I bet you they're different than this fork. Yeah, that's why the parts don't fit. In our case, it doesn't matter because we're doing custom, but if you're trying to do stock, you have to bend the fork to make it work. And you have to take that rocker arm and bend it so it's square, because right now it ain't anywhere near being perpendicular to anything. It wants to be over here. About right there. Yeah, that looks about right. See how far off it is? See, it's coming straight through there, and then, oh, it doesn't match up with that one. This one here looks pretty straight, though. So, time for some bending in the press to fix that problem. More custom. Not today. Okay, here's our wheel. Get some rotor bolt in there. See what happens here. Height should be good. It almost fits on the spacer there. That's pretty close, actually. I didn't know that wasn't going to fit that way. Obviously, it was made for it. Pretty damn close. Where the dikes go. Look for red. This is spacer came with the wheel. That's the one that goes in the hub, I'm guessing. Except in our case, it's a little bit too wide. Yeah, just a little bit on the wide side. About an 1/8 inch too wide. I used to have a rag around there somewhere. Found one. Yeah, it almost fits. Look at that thing. So I'm going to make a sleeve. I'll have to make a space that looks like that sleeve. It'll be 3/4 of an inch through. So there's a spacer came in it, and you see how this one here, about an 1/8 inch off. So this needs to be about an 1/8 inch thinner. So they can go find something that's an 1/8 inch thinner. So here's my go-to spacers. Bingo, look at that, right there in the money. Perfect. It's waiting to go in there. Oh, look at that. It's like it's perfect. Yeah, bent axle's not helping us any. Not bent axle, excuse me. Bent rocker arm. I think it looks like it's almost made to fit in there. There it goes. Perfect. There you go. It's a little loose on the bearing right there. Wrong axle. But overall, it's not too bad. It needs to go that way quite a bit, but that's okay. It's not bad. So now I gotta figure what we're gonna do about a rocker. Now the hub does not have to go over that way. The tire needs to go that way. With a spoke wheel, I can move the tire independent of the hub, so it can be whatever we want to do. So depending on where we want to put this caliper rotor piece. See, the bike's moving. I get some straps up on here before too late. See if it looks good with a 19 on there. It's just too high. I don't like that part. But see, that's an 18. It's pretty high too. Okay, what was I doing? I already forgot. I'm gonna do something stupid. Oh, caliper. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. I want to be out here by 1, by the latest. That's 1 tomorrow. There's caliper, but I think it's one I want. Somewhere around here, get some calipers. Right here. That's my favorite one right there. I don't know if that's the correct one. It's a right and a left. I don't know which one I need. These are radial mount. We can get something different. Probably will get something different. An old 2-piston PM or something in there, I don't know. We'll find something to use, but you get the gist of it. So, that goes right like that. This, once you get the pad where it belongs, these are calipers I'm going to put on my panhead, right? My panhead bike, dual disc. Okay, I'm going to squeeze these in a little bit. These were made for Harley rotors. Massage it a little bit. There you go. There's not being fluid in there. It didn't come out all over the place. Boom. Okay, well that ain't going to work. My plan is failing. Narrow glide wheels have lack of clearance. Won't clear. And if it gets smaller, it gets worse. But if we put a big spacer on this hub and move this rotor way the hell over, then we gain, but we're going to lose clearance quick going down in diameter. So I can drop down to a 10-inch rotor, or 11.5, which would make it a little bit better. Put at least a 1/2-inch spacer in there and move it out. And you can already see that the 1/2 inch would be fine over here because I move it over. It'd be the opposite, it'd be about this gap on this side. But like I said, once I get the hub to fit, I can put the tire where I want it, so it doesn't matter. We got plenty of room over here, just take a 1/2 inch out of the spacer here. So otherwise I have to get a little single action caliper where it's only got one piston on it. Sliding caliper. I don't really want to use a sliding caliper. Maybe I can use a smaller 2-piston caliper. Let's see, here's a PM, here's one here, right here. Piece of crap J brake. Yeah, I hate these things, but look how thin they are. So that'll do what we need. Yeah, these things are crappy calipers, but oh well. See how they fit? Close, but they fit. And yep, I can probably go to a 10-inch. Yeah, we can go about a 10-inch. We're going to be on top of the caliper. We might have to trim that, maybe a little skosh right there. Either way, I want to put this down on the bottom. Back here someplace. Have a bracket come off the rocker arm, weld it to the arm, come out and hold the caliper somehow. Put that thing down there, make it look a lot better. The other option is to put it up here. You can slide that sucker way in there, but if you want to put it way inside like this, you'd have to move the wheel over and get some clearance. You can probably hide it in there like that. That'd look the best probably because I wouldn't have anything hanging down here. Wouldn't have no hokey piece of crap hanging down like that. Yeah, still not going to go a 10-inch diameter though. And I still got room in there to do that, I think. Yeah, that'd be pretty tight. I think the spokes are going to get in the way. I have to take the caliper apart and see how thick it is in here and see how much I can cut away. See, I already took a big cut on it, so maybe I can cut some more out of it. I really don't want to run an 11.5-inch rotor. But so you can make a bracket. See, it has to come off of the rocker arm to be not move. Cannot come off of the legs because the legs go up and down. Each one of these go independent of each other, and the rocker is independent of those. So the caliper has to be attached to this in order not to move. It'll stay in the same position no matter what you do, because the rocker is fixed to the axle. It doesn't move. I think. I'm pretty sure about that though. So this would be moving back and forth relative to the fork as it went up and down, but not relative to the rocker arm. So I don't know. This rocker I'm sticking up and do a bolt-on bracket probably. Maybe something back under here or something, who knows. Problem under here is you got that bolt in there. There's a bolt in the way, but see, once you move the damn wheel over, the bolt won't be a problem. Alright, we'll see. That thing's bigger than this thing is. Jeez, big and ugly. I'll find something else. I know there's some small little 2-piston calipers you can get, or see, if it's a floating, if it's a single piston, it has to float back and forth. You have to have 2 pins to hold it. If you have 2 pistons in there, it's a solid mounted caliper. You don't have to have it. See, that's 2 piston. It doesn't move. This caliper here has got 2 pistons, but only on this side. This side here has no pistons on it. So it's a floating caliper. It floats on these 2 pins right here, these 2 bolts. So it's free to float. See how loose it is? See, it's free to move side to side. So you can do something like that, but you have to make the bracket where it would hold the bolts. Now in the application we're doing right now, the way this has a big offset to it, that might actually be helpful. Eliminate having to do some kind of big ass S bracket. You know, the bolts are doing basically everything, but I don't know. I like solid mounted stuff that doesn't move around. floating stuff sucks. This is butt ugly. This looks better. Just can't use it. Too big. Too thick. The difference in thickness. Big difference. Alright, well, that's where we're at for now. We're going to have a problem here. So I'll figure out what I'm going to do. But we're going to do something. We just don't know what. Alright, so there's what it looks like so far. Let me know what you think. Do we run a chrome primary or black primary? That's the big question. So one of those two is going to be the answer. Because we're going to use a primary.